You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network. Visit pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com to find more great podcasts.
And we're back. We're back again for the last little adventure into the Microverse, as we like to call it.
I don't think we ever really settled, did we?
No, we didn't. It
Baby,
doesn't matter.
Mini, Crash Mini, small.
We're here.
Doing
And
stuff.
We're chit-chatting it up. That's all we're doing. We don't really have a game plan either. That's
We
the beauty.
just stopped. Yeah, I know. I was like, no. All my ideas, I was like, this is going to be a great idea. And then as in my search for my great idea, the world failed me.
It did.
Yeah, I'm just going to place it on them. That's the day and age we live in anymore, right? Like, it's never my fault, clearly.
Right.
It's always outside forces as to why I've not accomplished a thing.
Sure. And why not blame everyone else?
Everyone. The entirety of the internet failed me.
The schmucks.
All of them.
All of them.
You didn't put it in front of the right faces. So I blame you all. So, I mean, there's no content. Your fault, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how life is.
Some people have said that they've enjoyed these conversations.
They have.
Beaver, I think.
Adjective Beaver. Lovely
Adjective
soul.
Beaver, yeah.
Yes.
He is a wonderful guy. I've never met him personally. I've seen him in your...
I haven't met him personally either.
Right,
Maybe
right.
one day. Maybe one day.
Well, we've not had a long conversation.
Sure.
But what I've seen of him in your Discord group, your community and stuff like that, he seems like a great guy. He's always been very supportive of what we're doing, so I appreciate that.
And vocal, which is nice, gives feedback. You know, yeah.
That's right.
Great.
So shout out to you, Adjective Beaver.
Absolutely. And when he does stream, it's always a good time. He's not on the regular, but I love that it's always interesting, bizarro ideas that you're like, okay, I'm here for it. Like pickles on a lazy Susan.
Why not?
With narration and a rubber chicken. Guys, that's content.
He's the progenitor
Right
of the rubber chicken
He
video
is.
that we haven't...
Yes. That I still have yet to put out into the universe. Yeah. Yeah,
That
because
needs
we
to
had a
come out.
great idea that we decided to do for 2 weeks. See, like him and I are kind of spirit animals together in this way, that we both have lots of lovely ideas that would be fantastic. And then like, we just don't. Mm-hmm. And then we both are like, how do we even feed ourselves throughout the day? And we're like, I don't know. Like, how do we adult?
You
how
know
have we
what?
made it this long?
You know what just occurred to me? We're going to have another side meeting, people, so just hang on.
Okay. Oh,
So
sidebar.
there was this idea that I had, and I know you've seen some of the episodes that I've done prior, but I never really ran with it too much because, you know, other ideas came into the forefront and they kind of took hold. This idea I had for a show, Slapdash Spasmodic, so that was random ideas. We could put it under that banner and just release it into the world.
Ooh, I'll have to ask him about that.
And then just say, you know, any other weird ideas you have, put it under that banner, and there you go.
There you go.
Because
Beaver,
that's the
let's talk.
idea. It's just whatever crazy idea comes into your head, there you go.
Yeah.
It has a home. It has a place. Because I have done that too, you know, where you just have those moments.
It was just such a fantastic idea, and like, just unfortunately, like I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I'll put this out there if it'll help anyone else feel better. It's just like, it seems like ever since quarantine, where I think I should have had so much more time and be productive, and like, oh my God, the gift of time. Like, how often do you get that ever as an adult, is the gift of time? And I felt the least productive, the least creative, the least motivated that I've ever felt in my life. And it's so strange because then in my head, I'm going, you're such a POS right now. You have all this time and you're doing nothing. And then as I turn around and start to try to do something, then I'm like, well, kind of don't even know what to do anymore because I'm not exposed to anything creatively anymore. I don't, it's all doom and gloom. And I'm like, and I don't get to go out or do any of this. And, you start trying to watch movies or TVs or more YouTube or something for just some sort of like creative inspiration or whatever. And I feel like it zapped me dry. Fair enough. It sucks because like there'll never be a time where I'll have like this much free time probably ever again. And for some reason I can't get it together and I don't understand. And then the cycle continues in your brain, beating yourself up over it, then getting sad, and then just saying screw it, never doing it, and then starting that whole cycle all over again. So if there are those of you creatives out there feeling that way, you're not alone. And if you're not, then I guess I am.
It's difficult.
It's like I don't understand why it's been so hard.
I think it's maybe overthinking the situation. You know you have all this free time, you can do it, and then it's like, all right, and go.
Yeah.
And
with what? Yeah.
And there's nothing there.
Nothing there at all. Because, like, the idea I still feel was fantastic if we could get ourselves motivated again. Because the whole idea was I would just film myself doing a thing. Nothing longer than 30 seconds. It doesn't matter what it is. And then I would send it to Adjective Beaver to creatively edit together as he saw fit. And he would do the same thing. He'd send me a video of him just doing whatever, you know, and then I would do it. And we had like 3 really good weeks there where we pumped out some good stuff. And we were going to do this week to week. And then we both kind of fell off. He's still got a job and like responsibilities and garbage. And like, I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, look at the situation you were in. It was being with the public in COVID in a restaurant. No one wants that job right now.
No, oh my God.
You didn't want it
It's
before.
so bad.
Now you really don't want it.
I really don't know. And then, oh, well, I did get an MRI finally. We didn't, you know,
Oh,
did
no,
finally
you
get
didn't say
that.
that.
I'll know here hopefully soon. Like,
Good.
if it's just worse, you know?
Yeah.
I did it on my own. I was like, screw you guys. I'm making this appointment on my own because I've seen like 5 doctors now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to know the whole staff. I'm like my mom now, the nice young doctor man. He helped me to the seat, and it was so lovely. And then I got to meet Dr. Craig, and he's lovely too. I don't know why I made her sound like that, but
I loved it. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'll listen to that for a while.
She never sounded like that at all. But yeah, so now my results will be read from another lovely, I assume, young gentleman that I've never met before. And then we can maybe move on with my life. I don't know. I don't know what happens there. But yeah.
Okay. At least you're getting answers.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Like, and it's I kind of feel like I know, and I already know what they're gonna say to do. I feel like I've been through this before, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess it's been like 10 years, off and on.
So are you confident it will be okay, or are you
I'm
kind of in your
confident that they're
mindset?
gonna tell me it's the same thing that we think it is, plus something.
Sure.
Because, like, you know, with the way the hip went down, that was totally different than how my hip pain hurt like 5 or 6 years ago. And us getting a cortisone shot this time did nothing. So I know it's got to be something different, because the last time I got the shot, oh my God, the next day I was walking around. I'm like, this is glorious. Why didn't we do this sooner? Like, it was just, I was finally able to walk straight after like an hour. I'm like, this is great. So I was all excited about the last one. And then the next morning, I'm like, damn it, nothing. And then 2 days later, I'm like, no, we're still in the same spot. So, I mean, I got to meet the guy who did the cortisone shot. Also, lovely gentleman. And his assistant, you know, she was also great. It's the first time I had an ultrasound.
And okay. That was good.
Ever. I guess.
I mean,
They
for
let
most
me
people,
watch. It was great. Saw my little hip gap. Apparently, I have good hip gaps.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, apparently that's good, because it means I don't have arthritis.
Oh,
so
good,
there's
good,
one
good.
thing I can check a box.
Yeah.
Done. It's set aside.
I don't have arthritis. Screw
Yes.
you.
Or in my hips, at least. I don't know about the rest of me. We've got time.
You know, I've actually been curious. We're going to talk about getting old here for a moment. I've been
God.
curious what that is, because I've heard things and I've wondered, do I have a tinge of it? Because there are times, you know, you just feel this thing in your arm, or not your arm, but your hands, and you're just like, what the hell is that? And it's just weird. And I was like, I've never felt that before. And then it just goes away, and you never think about it again because it's not there. But is that the signs, early signs?
I
of
don't know.
arthritis?
I don't know. Like, supposedly I have it in my knees.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like the only 13-year-old I knew where I was like, oh, it's gonna rain, you know, like, because I was put together cheap as a child. So I don't know. It doesn't really bother me a lot, though. So I've never had it severe enough to know personally. It seems like it does kind of cause, like, if you get it too bad in your hands, like you can't even hold them straight anymore. They tend to hurt all the time, kind of crampy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out, because I never think there's anything wrong with me. I don't like thinking that, I'm always like,
Sure.
it's something.
Ignorance is bliss, baby.
Yeah. Because I come from a long line of, when I say this, follow me here, white men, not white as in color, but as in my last name.
Oh, yeah.
Where we
Stephen
are.
White.
Yes, where we are stubborn. I'm not as stubborn, but my grandfather, oh man. It was just like he could be there bleeding. He was like, I don't need to go to the doctor.
The limb is hanging off, and it's like, psh, it's fine. Stick it back on. It'll scab over.
But to be fair, the man did not have his right arm since he was 18. So he was probably like, this is the worst that's going to happen to me. Screw it.
Well, yeah, I've already been through that. Sure.
Yeah.
That puts it in perspective.
You want to hear even more? You want to know how he lost it?
Let's do this.
A wheat thresher.
A wheat thresher.
A wheat thresher ripped it off.
Oh my God! Because like back in the day, the real time farming and stuff like that. Oof.
Yes. So, 18 years old, he was without an arm.
Jeez,
and
man.
lived his life up until he was 70s, 80s. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible grandson right now that I don't remember. I know when he died.
I won't judge you.
Yeah.
I won't judge you.
He died in 96. It's been a long time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but still, to have to live your entire life without an arm, relearn everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Seriously,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
These days we want to cancel people because our feelings got hurt. And
Yeah,
then there
sure.
you go.
I mean, think about
like
that.
our life is over now because someone called me a bad name.
But I mean, think about it from that perspective. We drive primarily with our right.
Sure,
arm.
if you drove a stick shift, you're
Yeah.
out. It's done.
So
yeah.
everything is on your right, and he has to deal with it. And he it's not like he stopped driving and stopped getting around. He had to just figure out, well, shit, I gotta get
You
somewhere.
gotta do it, yeah.
So I applaud him. You know, it was funny too, because growing up, I never thought anything about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like, oh man, he hasn't got an arm. It was like, yeah, my grandfather didn't have an arm. You know, it was just a common thing for me. I knew he didn't have an arm. It wasn't like a weird freak show thing to me. It was just like, yeah. And then when I would see him without, his shirt on every now and again, or like with a tank top, and you could just see the nub, it was like, huh, cool. That was it.
Well, through the lens of a child, you know, it's just like, oh, okay, that's not what I've normally seen, but sure, okay.
Yeah, sure. It's just, it's amazing that when you're around something from an early age, you're just used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like, meh. So if I see somebody without a limb, it's just like, okay.
Something
I've
happened.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. But yeah, no, we're understandably, he was very stubborn because you can't get much worse than that.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Unless you just lost all of them, I guess, at that point.
Mm-hmm. But no, I try to be cognizant. You know, I'm not that stubborn. I will say, and I'm saying this not to frighten anyone because it already frightens my wife. I have a lump on my back. And yes, that's
Have you
that
gotten
look.
it looked at?
I have.
Okay.
But I spent a long period of my time where,
Is it a skin tag? Do you have an old man skin tag now?
not necessarily a skin tag. The way the doctor
I joke
said,
about this now. We'll play it back when we find out it's something serious, and then I'm
Sure.
going to, hate myself. So I'll put that out there now.
No, I think it was something that I went to the doctor for some other reason, and I thought, while I've got you, Doc, could you just take a look at something on my back, will you please, and just tell me if I need to have it examined thoroughly.
Sure.
And they looked at it and they were just like, unless you're concerned about it being something else, they were just like, I wouldn't I don't think it's anything. I think it's like some kind of buildup of
Like a fatty
flesh
tissue or something.
Yeah, something like
yeah.
that. It's like if it bothers you, we can cut it out. It's something that can be done. It happens all the time.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's anything you have to worry about. It's like, does it hurt? No. It's not bothering you? No. I don't even know it's there.
I was going to say, and it's on your back, so you're like, I can just ignore the fact that it exists.
I mean, I really don't even think about it. I don't think
Yeah.
about it unless I actually reach behind my back and be like, oh, hey, there's a thing there. But she sees it all the time because, she can
Yeah.
see my back.
Sure.
But I don't know it's there. So I don't think
Well,
about
I mean, if the doctor said it's
Yeah.
nothing to maybe worry about, then yeah, probably just we get weird things like that. Humans We're kind of gross.
We are. We
You know?
are very
Like, as a
disgusting little.
whole.
I mean, I would take it seriously if there was a need for concern. Like if my wife was sitting there poking at it and it hurt, then yeah, I'd be like,
And not from just her continuously poking it.
yeah, it was. then I might be like, okay.
Does it hurt now? No.
Yeah.
Now?
What
No.
about now?
Now? No.
Ah.
Yes. Now you keep poking it.
But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't bother me. So I'm not concerned about it at the moment. If something
That would
changes,
probably be what I would do too. Just like, you know what? There's enough going on. If he
Right.
says it's fine, it's fine.
and I don't want to pay like X amount of dollars for some sort of vanity, like so now I have a scar on my back instead of this lump.
Yeah, but it could be a cool story.
That's true. But what they just removed some fatty tissue. That's all. It's no big
Well,
deal.
I mean, lie. I don't know. Like, I wanted to lie about how my hip hurt. Like, it wasn't like I just wanted to tell people, well, I just tried to stand up one night. And, which is what happened. You know? Be like,
my
there I was.
My legs
Staring it
don't
into the eyes. Trying to save my life.
It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, medical stuff. We're gonna die someday. I'm trying to be.
Trying to ride the
we
wave
got
as long
dark.
as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that I can live another 30 years at least. I know that seems very particular, but I think that's a good. I can see my
Right.
kids grow up. I can see some of my grandkids grow up to a point.
We could watch the world burn down completely to a crisp by then, you know.
Because I'd love to see what would happen in another 30 years. Because
Right?
right now, thinking about 30 years ago, I keep having these moments. We've talked about this before, where something happened 30 years ago and was like, this movie or this event happened 30 years ago. It was like, did it though? That just
Right?
felt like yesterday, man.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
weird.
Things that I remember growing up as a kid. I'm
Right.
like, oh, when the date stares at you in the face. You're like, damn.
It's like, I can't believe it's been that long. It feels so
Right?
fresh.
Well, like I keep telling you, like I still, when people say like 20, 30 years ago, I think of the 70s still.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's just beat into my head as a kid. Like that's how long ago it was. Got it, you know.
So I
Now,
think,
like, no, not at all.
yeah. So now I'm thinking, all right, well, what would 30 years be for me? I'd be about 70 years old. My oldest daughter, she would be 50. Yeah.
It's respectable. Yeah.
And so she may or may not have kids at that point. I say that because, you know, who knows what she wants to do with her
Yeah.
life.
She wants them great. If not, who
she's
cares?
doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say that. I'm not saying my other kids aren't. I wasn't trying to imply that. I'm
To
just
each
saying,
their own. Yeah.
But she's
She's content without them at the moment, and that is fine.
the fact that she has told me, she's like, I would love to have kids, but not right now. I got other things I'm trying to focus on.
Perfect.
Good.
Well
Good
done.
for you. And
Yeah.
again, no slight to my other kids. Not saying that. Just saying I appreciate what she's trying to do. She's trying
Right.
to stay focused on one thing. She'll get to that other stuff later.
Exactly.
But yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. We
I
digressed.
don't know.
We're talking.
Something about a fatty tissue on your back.
I
I feel like that's where it started.
And-
or
and
whatever
dying.
it was.
But yeah, where will we be in the 2050s? Will we
Yeah,
be
we kind of have to say 20 now, right?
20.
2020.
2050? Will we have flying cars?
I
What
don't
will
know.
cell phones be like?
Dude, I don't know. I think by then, like, there will probably be enough self-driving stuff, you know, so then, you know, we'll be trying to figure out how to, you know, get jobs to those people who are like Uber people or whatever, you know.
But think about that, though. I was going to go off on another
I mean, we
tangent.
already have self-driving cars.
We do. But think about that. Think about it for a moment. Let's rewind the clock 30 years, 1990.
Mm-hmm.
What did we still have in 1990? We still had rotary phones.
Yep.
Cell phones were really not a thing. If they
Yeah,
were,
you might
they
have had
were-
a bag one in the car that was super inconvenient and insanely expensive to make a call.
and they were bricks.
Yeah, they
if
were.
anything.
Yeah.
There was no high def television. We were still watching VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Computers.
Losing
were-
our mind that CDs were starting to be a thing, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I got to look like actual dates, but yeah, like cassettes were still in rotation.
computers were still very simple machines. They weren't
like a Commodore, like a
Yeah.
word processor. You might have had Paint.
even printers. Remember those little
Oh, with the big, yeah.
yeah.
The whole thing shook, and then you had to peel off the little
Yeah.
sides there.
That was
you
your
had to feed it
printers.
through. Yep.
So,
And nobody owned this stuff because it was way too expensive. Like,
But-
it wasn't in the home. Like, computers. Remember, like, the first, like, laptops?
mhm.
They wanted, like, what, $12,000 or something for it? And that was in those days. So, like, I don't even know. Like, $10 million today. No, I'm joking. I don't know inflation that well. But, I mean, definitely more by today's standards.
And we were still playing Nintendo. I don't
yeah.
even think the Genesis was really a thing at that moment. So we were still
Yeah, I
kind
don't know.
of
It's all kind of fuzzy. But, yeah, Nintendo was still in rotation.
so we were still in the 8-bit era of video games. Think about all that stuff. Think about
That's in
that.
30 years,
30
yeah.
years ago, which feels so fresh, as if it was just a thing. But it's been
It
30
moved way
years.
faster than we knew how to move with it, too,
Yeah.
is the problem. So in like 30 years, I shudder to think.
Yeah, where are
Really
we
and
going to be?
truly.
It could be Skynet, Terminator. We're going to die.
But it'll look like Tron before we go, huh?
Right. And then, of course, the idea that COVID will just be hanging around with it. Who knows?
Oh, we'll have like several new ones by then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, we might just be living in bubbles by then. I don't know.
Well, do recall that it was ironic that 100 years ago we had, what was it, the Spanish flu? Mm-hmm. Is what came about. So in
Yeah.
2120, should we make it that far,
Sure.
what new mutant virus is going to come back and kill us all?
I don't know. They'll probably just start renaming it COVID-19 again. Because 100 years has passed. I mean, let's just.
It's that thing. It's not like that thing, but it sort of is. So we'll just stick with that. Why not?
It's superhuman now. I don't know.
COVID-19
We created it
Part 2.
from eating each other.
Mm-hmm.
Told you. There's people eating humans. They were just going to start this whole thing. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just saying words.
It's fine.
But
You know what you
Yeah.
ought to do? So, if we want to end on a higher note, you ought to do your Jewish mother thing again. And then
what?
tell everybody when we're going to come back.
Oh, I should probably know that.
Yeah. So it'll be on the...
Hold on, math is hard. 24th.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Well, you should just tune back in for it because they're just such a lovely couple, that Lacey and that Steven, and they got some brand new stuff to tell you on the August of the 24th of 2020.
Of
We can't
2020.
think we're too far into the future. I know we've confused you all right now. I'm getting a little verklempt about it.
Ma, what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm telling the nice young people at home where they can listen to more of our stuff.
Who's listening to you, Ma? Get off the radio.
But this isn't the radio, sweetie. I'm talking into the monitor right now.
You can't talk into the monitor. What are you talking about? You can't
But
do
then
that.
when I talk into the monitor, like a week or so later, other people are telling me they heard me say things when I was talking at the monitor. Like somehow it's going out there for people to listen to later. I don't know.
Ma, you keep talking like that, I'm going to have to lock you up. You're talking
You know
crazy
what?
right now.
You know what? Why don't you just help me once in a while around the house here? I swear to
Oh,
God.
here we go, Ma. Here
I
we go.
swear to God, I just try to ask you about where to find the little podcast thingies that I'm talking into the monitors about, and you just keep looking at me like I'm saying something that's not English. I don't understand you these days, these kids and their stuff and things.
I'm leaving, Ma. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, you know what? Fine, get out of here. Your brother would help me better anyway.
Oh, there we go. Now you're going to talk
Yeah,
to
he
me
wanted
like-
to be a lawyer. The brother, he wants to be a lawyer, and here you are with
Always
your little
this, Ma.
cartoons.
Always with this.
With your little cartoons, thinking you're gonna make some money. Go get your brother. Go get your brother. He makes some good stuff too.
I'm going to go get my brother, and I'm going to go kick his ass because you're always holding him over my head, Ma.
Aw, kicking
Always
your
holding him
brother's
over
ass.
my
I
head.
think he could take you there too. He does something with the weights. He picks him up. He puts him down.
I can't believe you, Ma. Why you always do this to me? You're breaking my heart.
Breaking your heart. Breaking my heart. I'm your mother. You listen to me.
And we're all over the
I
place
gave
with
you
this.
life. I could take you out of it.
Oh. We were all over the map. I was Italian,
no
you
idea.
were Jewish. It was weird.
It's a mixed family. We're good. Like
Yeah.
we're just very accepting.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, I
But-
adopted you.
There we go. I like that. And that's why you hold Charlie over his head.
That's why I hold Charlie over you.
Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap this up. We've talked. We're inching our way out of the Microverse, and we're gonna come back to you next week, August 24th. Back in the palace, back to video games.
It's gonna be all about them games, them games.
But I do hope
I tried to make a song, it didn't work.
you did okay. You did okay. but I do hope that everybody has enjoyed our conversations. If you want to hear more of this, let us know, and we'll make sure that we do it again in the future. Because this has been, it's nice to kind of just bullshit and chit chat
and hang out. Yeah, it really is.
Because the conversation,
it's fun for us, hopefully for you too.
Yeah, because the conversations, I'll be honest with you, we don't have anything
we just
scripted.
started and we're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on? And the conversation just goes where it goes. And
I think they probably figured that out.
Yeah, so what you're hearing is just complete.
I don't know if anyone came away from one of these like, my God, how did they come up with all of that? It sounded like just conversation.
It is 100% genuine conversation.
Yeah.
We just think of something we're going to talk about, and then we just go.
And then do it.
Yeah.
Because why not? Whatever. Content.
Mm-hmm. And you've got it right now. But it will be interesting to get back to the grind, as it were. It's not a grind. It's fun.
Nah. Yeah.
I love it. I wish it could be our job.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that the truth?
I listen to all these podcasts, and they've got their sponsors, and they get to do this stuff on a regular basis, and they get to have fun chit-chatting and making money.
Of course, we don't probably see the 10 years of BS that they went through also before they finally got in front of that right person or group of people.
And I apologize to anyone who hears all the in the background right now, because these people who like to use my
tough
road.
guys working on their cars, making.
It's always motorcycles too. I mean, I have nothing against motorcycle drivers, but they will come down this road in droves.
Well, I think they only know how to move in groups.
Apparently so. I've never seen one solo.
I've known actually a lot of back in the day. I used to know a lot of people who rode motorcycles and in little gangs or whatever. They weren't like, what you saw in the movies or whatever. But they wore jackets, same color, blah blah blah. Yeah, they like to go in groups.
Well. But yeah, we digressed again in conversation just because of cars. No, next week, August 24th, we'll be back.
24th with game news.
With video game news. I think something big's about to happen too, isn't it?
Who knows anymore?
I feel like we'll at least have some game news. I think the DC Fandom thing is happening on August 21st.
Okay.
And that will... I know there will be some game information in there because we're giving you hints of what we're going to be talking about. We already know about the Suicide Squad game from Rocksteady.
Yeah.
So that's been leaked or confirmed, I guess. It's been confirmed at this point.
Of course, we'll probably have to talk about everybody getting mad about, Spider-Man. We'll just say that. Yep. That's a thing. Of course, we might be not pissed about it by next week, but I don't know.
People are pretty pissed.
They really are.
I've got some words to say about that, but we'll save it for next week.
There we go.
But anyway, guys, we're going to let you go.
Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. We love you.
If you made it this far.
Yeah, if you made it this far.
If not.
You didn't hear that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Probably not.
But we will see you next week, bright and early, back in the palace, and we hope you'll join us. And we will see you then.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.